Coyotes. Thanks for joining me for this edition of Crazy Critters from the Keep Room. Joining us today is Stella, our spider ball python. No, she is not related to spiders or Spider-Man. Spider refers to her pattern. And in the snake world, her pattern is called a morph. That is a genetic mutation that gives her a different pattern or color. She's the same snake, she's still a ball python, but her morph refers to the way that she looks. So think about dogs and cats. When a cat has kittens, the mama might be all black and the daddy might be all brown, and they might end up with black kittens, brown kittens, orange kittens, calico kittens. Those are all their different patterns. Same with dogs. Black dog, brown dog, orange dog. I've never seen an orange dog. Now, ball pythons have at least 26 different morphs or patterns. And the very first morph was an albino python, pictured here, that was created in 1992. Before the 1990s, most people in the United States did not have a pair of snakes that they could breed successfully. But once they got that albino python, ball python, they found that people became more interested in breeding for morphs, kind of like designer snakes. Stella, that those of you who've held her know, she does not like to go around your neck at all. I'm hoping when she gets bigger, she'll change her mind on that, but right now, it's a no. Well, Nike and Catherine are considered normal ball pythons because that is the pattern that we normally see. You remember, they have more of the dark patterning with the gold on the inside. Stella is a spider ball python. Now that is also a pretty common morph. When they were breeding this morph, they were trying to reduce the amount of patterning. So if you notice, she doesn't have big circles of color. She has stripes of the dark and more of the gold. And when you look underneath, you can see how white her underside is, but she has these cute little freckles, I call them. Freckles of gold and brown. Okay. Now, something that's interesting about spider ball pythons is that some of them suffer from something called the head wobble syndrome. And this is where their heads will shake uncontrollably. I haven't really seen that in Stella, but it's happened in so many snakes that the experts are asking breeders to not breed for the spider morph because they're afraid for the health of the snake. The only time I've ever seen Stella do any kind of head wobble is right before dinner time, and she is ready to strike at that mouse. Otherwise, she seems like she does a pretty good job. She does spend an awful lot of time coiled up. Remember, one of their adaptations is they ball up to protect themselves, and she does spend a lot of time in this ball position. A couple of interesting things about Stella. She is 4 years old, and we purchased her at Elliot's Pet Shop in San Bernardino. And when we got her, she was about that long maybe, and about that big around. She's a pretty little thing. She's grown quite a bit, as you can see. She is not going to let me stretch her out at all. Something else that's kind of interesting is when we got her, I put a big chart in front of the keep room and asked students to write down their ideas for a name for Stella. And one of the popular ones was diarrhea. Crazy, and not spelt correctly either. I just figured I couldn't live with a snake for 30 years named Diarrhea, so we chose Stella. One last thing I want to share with you is that Stella has a scar right here on her back. She's scarred all the way down, kind of like when you guys skin your knees. She ripped the skin, I think when she was shedding and she rubbed against a rock, she just scraped it way down, and so now she has a scar there, kind of like what happens when we take a fall and we get a scar. So, maybe you're wondering, what is the rarest morph out there or the most expensive type of ball python? You're gonna have to come back to our next video to find out that information. All right, guys, I hope you liked seeing about Stella. I'll see you soon.